Hello, what is up everyone, it is Truth Reviews here and welcome back to another video. Yeah, the YouTube channel has been doing absolutely terrible, so a like and a subscribe would be perfect right about now, guys. But on a real, I just watched Blue Beetle and I'm here to tell you whether or not you should watch it or whether I think you should watch it. And if you want the short answer, yes, I think you should watch Blue Beetle. It's an incredibly fun, enjoyable, and overall fast-paced film with amazing action, great set pieces, incredible visuals, and an overall likable cast and characters and plot. But let's dig a little bit deeper now. Yeah, and I think we need to address the elephant in the room when talking about the plot of Blue Beetle, and that's that this DC film is very similar to another superhero film. Let's see if you can guess what superhero film that is. A good guy who has a pretty bad, shitty life gets this magical, amazing suit that turns him into a very cool animal. He then has to use this suit to stop the big bad guys who want to get the suit to use the suit for big bad guy stuff. However, the big bad guys have their own suit they're going to try and beat the good guy with, and fail later on. There is also a very likable master sort of character, or slash a father-like character who will teach, you know, this character how to use the suit and what to do. And also, there is a love interest into the story. Yes, it's fucking Ant-Man, guys. Yes, that's right, guys, it's Ant-Man. Well, Ant-Man with a way more likable cast of side characters, an overall better CGI and overall better fight scene choreographs, overall funnier film, overall better love interest and more interesting, overall funnier main character, and overall better villain. Overall, a better film, to be honest, from the way out. And I like Ant-Man 1 more, but looking at it from a film perspective, yes, it's probably better. Is the plot incredibly like Ant-Man 1's? Yes, but there's so much that's different. I really couldn't call it copying. The fact that some people are trying to say that James motherfucking Gunn, copied Ant-Man 1's formula is just ludicrous. There's so much more fun stuff in this film than there is Ant-Man 1. And once again, guys, I personally like Ant-Man 1 more. So, I'm just saying, this film from a film perspective is probably a still better crafted film than Ant-Man 1 anyway. Yeah, the characters in Blue Beetle are fantastic, and none is better than Xolo Malo Tuwela. Whew, I really hope I'm getting his name right. He is the brilliant actor who plays Blue Beetle himself, and I gotta say, his performance was really good. There's so much life in Blue Beetle and so much life to his character. He is a very young kid at the end of the day. He sort of gives Spider-Man vibes, and he's very fun. The film is kind of set in this like Mexican in this Mexico setting, but it's like this futuristic Mexico where half of Mexico is very futuristic and the other half is like a shithole, and it's overruled by this corporation, and I really like that setting, and yeah, I think Blue Beetle is done incredibly well. As for the other characters, most of them are done great too. Blue Beetle's love interest is done really well, and she actually has fucking character, I know, wow, incredible. And then you've just got Blue Beetle's family. Yeah, Blue Beetle's family kind of suck. I don't know, I thought that the sibling was kind of cool at the very start, and then it fucking sucked. The father's very cool, but we don't really get to know a lot about him. Blue Beetle's family is like this very traditional, generic Mexican family who pull all these funny, not funny, jokes, and it's just really fucking unfunny, if I'm honest. I mean, it's fine, it's very inoffensive, but I thought the side characters were a bit annoying. Still nowhere near annoying as Ant-Man's though, so that's okay. Raul Max Trujillo, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, apologies if I'm butchering that name, is an amazing actor, and his character is great. He plays this cybernetically enhanced sort of man who, you know, gets turned into this suit to fight Blue Beetle, and we actually get a reveal later on in the story that, you know, he lost everything in Vietnam. His mum was killed, and a lot of people died, and, you know, he was badly injured, and through cyber enhancements from the main bad guy woman, who wants to use the suits to sort of cyberly control the city with police, but obviously we know how corrupt that will be, you know, made him into this robot, and his character is really, really cool. I really like what they did with his character. It's great. And while I would probably criticize this film for being a bit on the Marvel-y side, especially when it comes to jokes, I really do think Blue Beetle especially had a great character arc for a DC hero. He starts off not wanting to kill. He goes through a phase where, spoilers alert, his father tragically died. Yes, that's right, the father figure dies, but not like every DC superhero ever. But his father dies, and then he wants to kill this main bad guy, and then in the end, you know, the suit source decides for him not to kill the main bad guy. Also, the suit lady is really, really cool. Like the Blue Beetle suit, the fact that it talks, really, really cool. I won't lie to you, for someone who reads a lot of DC comics, I had no idea about anything to do with Blue Beetle. In fact, I only heard about him not too long before the film was announced, so I was actually amazed how much they did tell you about his character and how accurate, through doing my own research, it is to the comics, so well done there. The music. Yes, there is music in the film. And yes, that's all I really want to say. That's it. Yeah, the music is just there. If it's not like really generic pop/rap music that's licensed, it's just really generic fucking like Marvel-y sounding, like Metro music. It's just fine. It really didn't blow me away. It's fine. I've heard better, guys. It's just fine. Visually, this film looks really, really good, and I think what complements that is the setting of Mexico, and like I said, how it like contrasts, like I said before. By the way, I do not think Mexico is a shithole, in case, you know, anyone actually, you know, thinks that that's what I meant by earlier. I mean the contrast between the shitty part of Mexico, like this poor area, and the super cyber city is so cool. I love Mexico. It looks beautiful, by the way. But like, it is just so cool. A Mexico setting visually looks so beautiful alone, and then on top of that you have the futuristic cyber city, which also looks really, really cool. And then obviously you have Blue Beetle's suit, which also looks absolutely fantastic. And then you have, you know, the enemy design and everything like that, from the skyboxes to the really, really cool stuff like that, which is just brilliant. Now, what about the fights and action and choreographed fight scenes? Well, Blue Beetle, just like any DC film ever, blows me away when it comes to its fight scenes. It does incredibly well using the environments, using the suit, using the enemies to its, you know, maximum and perfect desire and perfectness, really. Yeah, the action in this film is fucking great. The end fight scene especially is one that is choreographed really, really well, and it doesn't feel like a big CGI clusterfuck. It's just done really great, and it's quite grounded. I thought the grandma minigun scene was great too. You know, DC always have that thing, you know, Superman doesn't kill, but it's fine if one of his friends does, or Batman doesn't, well, actually no, except Batman. Green Lantern doesn't kill if his friend, you know, the Flash doesn't kill, if his friends does, it's fine. So, you know, DC have that thing where Blue Beetle doesn't kill people, but if his elderly fucking grandma blows 5 people away with a minigun, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So I thought that was slightly ironic, but it's fine. The action in this film's great. There's a bit where Blue Beetle splits a bus, and that's really cool. Overall, really, really cool. Wish there was a little bit more of saving people. You know, he's Blue Beetle. You know, Marvel have this problem. Marvel have this massive problem. The only films where, you know, people are, you know, superheroes are saving people is like directly, I mean directly going up to people and saving people, is Spider-Man and probably Iron Man 3, you know, the plane scene where Iron Man 3 saves all those people in the plane. Marvel really sucks at, you know, getting across the whole superhero theme of saving people, helping people, showing that they're helping people. Yeah, sure, Captain America stops the Nazis from invading and stuff like that, but you don't see that he's saving people. We need to see it. We need to see it. And DC are normally really good at that, but here I wish this film had a little bit more of saving people. That's all. Okay, so now let's go on to stuff that I didn't like / really didn't like about the film. And there is probably one thing that majorly annoys me about Blue Beetle. And no, it's not the fact that it's a bit like Ant-Man. It's the fact that these side characters are annoying as shit. I do not like the family. I like them more than the annoying ass people from Ant-Man, the side characters from Ant-Man. However, overall, especially the sister, the family are fucking infuriating, man. The father's great. I like the father, and I think he had to be good. No, his death isn't that emotionally tooling, but he had to be good for the film to work. The mother's fine too, but the grandma and the sister and like the uncle, they're so on the nose. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, maybe the uncle's fine. I kind of like the whole joke with his dubstep car and shit. But like that's fine. But like the grandma and like the nieces and stuff like that, you know, that's so all on the nose. Especially the sister. It's kind of cringe. Can I use that word in 2020? Cringe, guys, that is cringe. And I would say, overall, the pacing for this film is done really, really well. I'll actually put in a little segment here about pacing. The pacing of this film is done really, really well. Scenes flow and connect really nicely together. However, we still have the problem of some scenes feel way too long than they are supposed to be. So the only scene in this film that feels really, really long, all the other ones get a pass, but the only scene that does feel quite long is the first introduction scene where we're seeing the Blue Beetle, you know, before he's Blue Beetle, round that big mansion pit person's house, you know, cleaning. I thought this scene went on for a bit longer than it should have. But it was fine, it was excusable, it was absolutely fine, but, you know, other than that scene, the film was paced wonderfully. But other than the jokes, really, and the fact that it's a little bit like Ant-Man, I don't see a problem with this film at all. Overall, Blue Beetle is an extremely, extremely fun DC film. It's fun, it's action-packed, it has a really cool story with an amazing villain and a great side villain who's actually the main villain. The characters in Blue Beetle can sometimes be a slight bit underwhelming, especially when it comes to these side characters making incredibly annoying jokes, and the theme and overall tone of Blue Beetle being a little bit too jokey for my liking when it comes to a DC film. However, Blue Beetle himself is tremendously done. The supporting cast of good characters such as the uncle and the love interest and the main villains are done incredibly well, and establishing the DCEU in this way I think worked really nicely. Scenes seamlessly flow together like fine wine. The film is, you know, perfectly flowed and paced, pretty much other than that opening scene, like I say. Like I said, the action is amazing, the dialogue works well, and overall the film is great, minus a couple jokes and the long scene, and the fact it's a tiny bit like Ant-Man, and you would have yourself a really exceptionally good film here. But for now, I'm just going to be giving Blue Beetle a 7, a very strong 7 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please do like and subscribe. Hit the bell down below so you can be notified when your favorite YouTuber posts. I will be posting hopefully 3 times a week if this comes out in time. So we will see you guys. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.